Have you ever stopped to think about what's really underneath your smile, your eyes, all the features that make you look like, well, you? Turns out there's this hidden architectural marvel that gives your face its unique shape. And in this explainer, we're going to uncover it, piece by fascinating piece. Right, so beneath the skin and the muscles we see in the mirror every day, there's this incredibly intricate and honestly beautiful bony structure. It's the framework that supports everything, from our senses to the very start of our digestive and respiratory systems. So, what exactly makes up this fundamental part of our identity? How many individual pieces actually come together to create the face we show to the world? The answer? It's 14. Just 14 distinct bones, and every single one has a specific job to do, all working together. It's a way more complex system than you might think. And get this, it doesn't even start out this way. It actually has to grow into the face we all recognize. Yeah, this whole framework goes through this massive transformation. The shape of our face changes like crazy in just the first 2 years of life, and that growth doesn't actually stop until we're about 16 years old. All right, so to really get a handle on this complex structure, we're going to need a map. And luckily, this brilliant illustration right here is going to be our guide. Let's take a tour of these 14 bones one by one. Okay, let's dive in. We're going to start from the inside and work our way out, beginning with the bones that make up the very center of your face. If you look right down the middle, that's the Vomer bone. It forms the bottom part of the wall that divides your nasal cavity. That's the nasal septum. Then right above it, you've got two small nasal bones that meet up to form the hard bridge of your nose. And believe it or not, the rest of your nose, that's just cartilage. All right, so just to quickly recap that central core team, you've got the two nasal bones for the bridge, the single vomer dividing the airway, and then tucked away behind them are the two L-shaped palatine bones, which form the very back of the roof of your mouth. But now, we get to the real stars of the show, at least when it comes to the upper face, the two maxilla bones. People call them the keystone bones, and for a really good reason. Almost every other facial bone connects directly to them. I mean, these two bones are absolute powerhouses. They form your upper jaw, holding all your upper teeth in place. They even make up parts of your eye sockets and your nasal cavity. So the main takeaway here is they are absolutely central to your entire facial structure. And here's a really key piece of biology for you. These two separate maxilla bones, they're actually supposed to unite and fuse together right down the middle, way before a baby is even born. So, as you can imagine, that's a pretty critical step in development. Which, of course, leads to the question, what happens if that fusion doesn't go according to plan? Well, the result is a condition called a cleft palate. It is a direct outcome of that very specific anatomical process going wrong, and it leaves a gap in the roof of the mouth. It's just a really powerful reminder of how important this precise, bony architecture truly is. All right, so we've got the central core down. Now let's start building outwards and check out the bones that give the face its width and, maybe most importantly, its ability to move. And here they are, the zygomatic bones. You almost certainly know them better as your cheekbones. They're what give you those prominences on your cheeks, and they also pitch in to form the sides and floor of your eye sockets. And then we've got the mandible, our lower jaw. This thing is the heavyweight champion of the face. No contest. It's the biggest, the strongest, but its real claim to fame? It's the only bone in your entire skull that can move. And that one simple fact is what lets us do two of our most important things: talk and eat. Okay, so we've covered the big players, the heavyweights, but some of the most fascinating bones are actually the smallest. Let's take a look at these delicate, intricate bones that play some super important supporting roles. I just love this description. To give you an idea of the scale we're talking about here, the source material says the lacrimal bones roughly resemble a fingernail in size and shape. I mean, how tiny is that? So these tiny little lacrimal bones, the smallest in the whole face, they sit right on the inner wall of your eye socket. And their job, they house the little sacs that collect our tears. And right nearby, you've got the inferior nasal concha. These are thin, curly bones that basically create turbulence for the air we breathe, which helps warm and filter it before it ever gets to our lungs. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so we've looked at all of these individual pieces. Now, let's kind of zoom out for a second and just appreciate how they all come together to create these really complex functional structures. And this image just illustrates the point perfectly. Take the orbit, your eye socket. It's not one single bone, not at all. It's this incredible mosaic where 7 different bones, 4 from the face, 3 from the cranium, all lock together to create this protective little cave for your eye. You know what's also fascinating? How this basic framework can have these subtle but really consistent variations between the sexes. For example, male skulls tend to have a more sloped forehead and a more prominent brow ridge. And the angle of the jaw, it's usually a bit sharper, closer to a 90-degree angle. And finally, I can't wrap this up without talking about a real anatomical oddity in this whole region, the hyoid bone. This thing is one of a kind in the entire human body because it doesn't actually connect to any other bone. Seriously, it just floats in your neck, held in place by muscles and ligaments, where it serves as a crucial anchor for your tongue. So there you have it, the 14 bones that literally form the foundation of our face. It's the hidden framework behind our identity. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If this is the architecture that we show the world every single day, what other hidden structures, deep down inside, truly define who we are?